Henry VII was a descendant of the House of Lancaster and grew up in exile in France. He was the only surviving claimant of that dynasty to the throne. After his victory at the Battle of Bosworth, he became the first monarch of the Tudor dynasty and ended the War of the Roses. As king, Henry strengthened the crown's authority, curbed the power of the nobles, and improved the kingdom's finances. He is known as a calculating and cautious ruler who favored diplomacy over war. By marrying Elizabeth of York, he united rival dynasties and secured peace. His reign laid the foundations of strong centralized rule. To govern England, he believed, one must know how to wait, to count, and to keep one's head. Anne of Denmark was born into the royal family of Denmark and Norway. In her youth, she was married to James VI of Scotland, later becoming Queen of Scotland, and then of England and Ireland after his accession. Her life began among cold fjords and ended in the lavish palaces of London. Anne became known as a patron of the arts, theater, and architecture. She inspired artists and commissioned many court decorations. She was called the soul of masks and the patroness of elegance. Despite political disagreements with her husband, she retained influence and independence. In the portrait by John de Critz, her refinement and dignity are highlighted by rich fabrics and a calm gaze. After her death, her cultural legacy was seen as the dawn of a new female era at the English court. João V of Portugal was the son of King Pedro II and Queen Maria Sophia of Bavaria. Was raised in the spirit of absolutism and religious piety. His youth coincided with the height of the empire, when gold from Brazil made Portugal one of the richest countries in Europe. He ruled for nearly half a century, turning Portugal into one of the most lavish monarchies in Europe. Wealth from overseas colonies funded monasteries, libraries, academies, and the majestic Mafra Palace. He was called the Portuguese Louis XIV for his passion for ceremony and architecture. He supported science, the arts, and the clergy, corresponded with the Pope, and received the rare title of Most Faithful Majesty. His influence reached not only Lisbon, but also the Vatican. The greatness of a monarch, he believed, begins with the strength of his faith. Catherine Ivanovna was the second daughter of Tsar Ivan V and the niece of Peter I. Born in Moscow, she was raised at court amid strict traditions and political caution. In her youth, she was married off to the Duke of Mecklenburg by her uncle's will, as part of the empire's diplomatic strategy. As a dowager duchess, Catherine returned to Russia and in 1727 became regent for the young Emperor Peter II. Her power was nominal, while actual control was held by court favorites. Among the people, she was called the quiet voice of the throne. Catherine aimed to preserve stability and avoided deep involvement in conflicts. Her regency marked a transitional period between the era of Peter the Great and the internal turmoil of the mid-18th century. Henry the Navigator was born in Porto into the royal house of Unveils. He was the third son of King John I and Queen Philippa of Lancaster. Well educated from youth, Henry showed an early interest in astronomy, geography, and navigation. Henry played a pivotal role in launching the age of exploration. He founded a navigation school in Sagres, financed expeditions along the African coast, and encouraged the search for a sea route to India. He was called the architect of Portuguese expansion. Henry never sailed himself, but his vision and determination opened new horizons. He died without seeing India, but his legacy paved the way for Vasco da Gama, Columbus, and Magellan. His name became a symbol of the quest for knowledge and world expansion. Henriette Herz was born in Berlin into the family of a wealthy physician of Jewish origin. From a young age, she showed interest in literature, philosophy, and science. She received an excellent education and quickly joined the intellectual circles of Enlightenment-era Prussia. Henriette became the famed hostess of one of Berlin's first literary salons, where philosophers, poets, and scholars gathered. Her guests included the Humboldt brothers Fichte, Schlegel, and Jean Paul. She was called the Muse of the Age of Reason. After losing her husband, she experienced a deep personal crisis, which led to her conversion to Christianity. Until the end of her life, she remained independent and influential, becoming a symbol of female intellect in the Enlightenment. Claudia Felicitus of Austria was the daughter of Archduke Ferdinand Charles of Tyrol and Anna de' Medici. Born in Innsbruck, she was raised at court amid Italian and Habsburg influences. From an early age, she was known for her piety and modesty. At 16, she was betrothed to the future Emperor Leopold I. As Empress, Claudia spent only 3 years at a court steeped in rigid church protocol and power struggles. Despite her young age, she tried to fulfill her role as a wife and protect her family's interests. She was called the Quiet Rose of the Empire. Her early death, likely from tuberculosis, shocked the court. A portrait by Dolci, painted in the year of her marriage, captured her modest and thoughtful spirit at the threshold of a great but brief destiny. Gasper de Agalar was born in Valencia into a modest but educated family. He was raised in the spirit of humanism, showed early poetic talent, and became part of an influential intellectual circle. He gained recognition as a court poet at the court of the Dukes of Gandia. Aguilar became a key figure of the Spanish Golden Age. He wrote solemn odes, dramatic plays, and poems celebrating monarchy. His work echoes with civic duty and religious fervor. He said that the word can ignite the heart of the people and reconcile enemies. Despite his courtly position, Aguilar remained true to his Valencian soul and native language, defending Catalan poetry. After his death, his works became a model for poets and playwrights, and his name secured an honorable place in the history of Spanish literature.